Hey all, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, coming to you from the deck. That's it. I don't have any special name for it. Coming to you from the deck because I'm cooking on the grill, so I figure I might as well make a video while I'm sitting here watching the fire so it doesn't get out of control. So we're going to do a quick repot of two of the oh my gosh, I can never say their names. The Sawara Cypress P. Tsukumos. So we're gonna get those repotted up and hope for some good activity out of them. So let's get to it. All right, so my thoughts here are this one with the twin trunk, which probably could be separated, but I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna just let it fuse together and become a twin trunk. I'm gonna put into this nice pot here by Sue. Beautiful little pot. I have its little screen. I'm not wiring it in. I'm just gonna lay it down, and the hole's not very big, so just gonna lay the screen at the bottom and put soil in there then. Then we have our little single trunk. This one kind of reminds me of like the tree of life, so you won't get like a good visual with this one because the way this pot comes at this slant. I want it so that this tree is going to sit kind of up in here, and this back curve is going to run with the curve of the tree itself, so you'll get a good visual once I get it inside there. Don't mind my table being a little bit dirty. I didn't see a point in cleaning it to get dirt everywhere. That's my excuse, at least. Also, don't mind the wood bees that are flying around everywhere. Those little guys are nasty. So we got it out. Let's brush off the top here just a little bit, see what we have. We can use a little root hook. So this one was growing in one of those little hair follicles. I may have waited a little bit too late because it looks like it's got white growth coming from the roots, so it's got some new roots growing in. Sorry, I don't really have a good area out here to be doing videos yet, so I guess I should plan on doing more videos out here because everybody likes when I cook on the grill, so I'm gonna have to be cooking on the grill more now that we're running into this warmer weather. All right, so we got to sort through these roots and figure out, because like it's got some large mulch chunks in there, which is not beneficial at all for me at this point. Maybe others of you find it beneficial, but for me at this point it is not beneficial. I'm just trying to get this paper netting off of it. So I will say I definitely have this camera at a super low angle, which is going to make this extremely difficult because I got used to having it like up between my arms and I just stand up. But that is not so much the case out here. I don't really have anywhere to stand, and I didn't bring a tripod up. Alright, so now we found that root. So I guess as long as we can figure out where some of these main roots are heading off to. And I don't want to pull super hard because it has already started pushing out new roots. So I don't really want to rip a bunch of roots. I just want to try to get it untangled the best I can. Alright, so now we've got that main root. Making progress, making progress. And with every big old chunk of mulch I get out, the better I feel about it, because I'm seeing it's not as tangled as what it looks like. It's just the mulch messing with it. But I'm also trying to break up this that cotton. I'm not sure what it is. The little grow bags I put it in, I don't know if it's cotton for sure or not, but whatever it's growing in definitely made this a lot harder for me here. So we're definitely did lose some roots through it, and that was anticipated. I'm gonna have to cut some off anyway, but we've got to decide which ones we want to keep and which ones we do not. Some of these I really like. Other ones, like, that one looks like it's still alive, but this one right here looks like it could possibly be dead. Maybe not though, it's reaching down there pretty far. Either way, that one's up a little bit too high, so we are going to take that one off. All right, so we got that little guy off. Then this little one doesn't have many roots on it, so we are going to get rid of it, because we're going to run into where these are all crossing over each other way too much here soon. We've got to figure out which ones we can and which ones we cannot get rid of, because with our Nabari, we don't want them all crossing over top of each other and causing something that doesn't look nice. We want it all to look as nice as possible as we're growing. So if we can come in and rearrange the roots now, that's great. If we cannot, then we may just have to let some of it grow a little while till we can come in and cut where we can. It's definitely got an interesting base. It looks like this may have already completely fused, which is okay. I was planning on letting it fuse if it didn't. So I need to figure out how many roots are on this little guy, because I do want to get rid of this one. Okay, that's not too many, so I'm happy to get rid of that one. And then I'm keeping a little pile of my roots so I can see the percentage of roots I've taken off. So this is what I've taken off, and this is what's left so far. Oh, sorry. This is what I've taken off, and this is what's left so far. So we haven't taken that much off, so we're still good. We are going to come in here, though, along the base, and just take off a few more of these little ones that are in here. And then make sure we get them pulled out, because we do not want them getting intertwined and just taking up space that they don't need to. All right, so we've got this one really long one here, so we're just going to take that one off over there. I actually like where this one's coming off on the heel, so that one's definitely staying. Then we have some back here. We need to deal with some of these, and some of them look like they've already been choked out, so we're just gonna, yeah, like that one was dead, so that one was there for no reason. Now the rest of these we've got kind of twisted around on each other. All the fun things, right? So we're gonna come back in here, take off some of these smaller ones again. And there's really not much to take off there besides that. So now from here is where we get into some tougher decisions, because we dealt with the smaller masses, and now we're getting into, I need to decide if I want to keep this root, which has a lot of nice new growth on it, so I kind of feel like I should keep that one. It's just really tough because they're all hitting a point where they're overwinding each other, and I really need to get them spread out nicely at this point. So I think I'm going to end up getting rid of this one right in here. And that's so that I have this one, and then I can pull this one off to the side. Okay, so now we're just going to trim back a little bit on some of these. Preferably the ones that don't have a bunch of feeder roots. But I am gonna have to trim the feeder roots as well, because as we see here, we have to get this whole thing down inside this pot. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit off the back edges here. And then we're gonna just take a little bit off the front. And then we're gonna set it in some water. So, while those roots are resting in the water there, we're gonna shake up our soil. And it's just a 2-to-1 Fox Farm and then 4 mix. So I'm just gonna take it, drop a very, very small handful in there. And that very, very small handful is going to take up a lot. All right. So our overall goal here is to try to get this thing to fit down in here. And just kind of drop in just like this. So we've got our little tree, and we're just trying to pull it in the best we can here. And then of course I didn't bring anything up here to put the soil in with, so there's always that. I know I normally don't do this part on here, but this has a pretty big air gap underneath and I've got to get into it, so we're going to do it real quick. Just moving it around. For the next one, I'm not even going to video it for you because I already made you endure this. So I will go through and do the other one and then show you them both whenever they're all potted up here. So now that we've got this in a decent amount, we're going to come in here with a little bit of waters. And this thing will just soak up the water so quick. And then the nice thing about the water is it also helps pack it in there, and it really shows where your air pockets are going to be underneath. Yeah, just got all this stuff sticking to me. I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, why would you put this in a glazed pot? And I'm thinking, because it's beautiful and I like it. So I put it in a glazed pot. Candace told me I could do it as long as I'm happy watering it. And I'm happy watering it. So it gets its glazed pot. Those are some strong roots down in there. All right, well, you get the idea of what I'm going to be doing here. So let me get this finished up and I'll bring you back when I'm all done. All right, so there's number one all done up here. You've got your front view more or less looking in. Let me get you centered right with the camera. More or less here. I have the thicker trunk in the front with the skinnier trunk in the back to give kind of like a depth perception, as well as the rocks that I picked. I picked some rocks that are bigger here and a little bit smaller there. Just get everything all set nicely. But that's this one. I'm going to repot the other one now. If I see anything crazy, I'll bring you back into it, and if I don't, then we'll see you at the end. All right. Hopefully I see you at the end and nothing crazy happens. All right, so here they are. We got our first one we did up here. Let me bring it in closely for you. You can see the front. Looking good, looking good. I know it's leaning back really hard, but we'll get to trimming it up then eventually. I'm not sure when. We did the repot, so we're going to be happy with the repot and stop there. Yeah. So that's our first one. This is the second one I did up. That one's just like a big old floof right there. So this one, I have it slightly off to the left. I feel in this pot, even if I was to center it, it wouldn't really matter too much because the pot's kind of crazy looking. It just gives it different appearances. I thought about really shrinking the pots down and putting them in some super tiny pots, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually... Oh, Corporal's all upset. I think what I'm actually going to do is put some trees I grew from seed into those teeny tiny mame, like the teeny tiny little mame pots, the ones that are like barely an inch tall. I'm going to put some of the seed growing ones in there and literally grow them into the pot that I want them to be in. I know it'll take even longer by shrinking the pot and growing them out of it, but I think it's a good fit. So that's what I'm going to go for. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoy my content, you should hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.